Hi everyone, I'm Louise from Freedom Lands. This video is a little step-by-step guide on how to get smash repairs done while living on the road full-time. A bit of a disclaimer here, the repairs that we needed to get done were not too significant. I ran into a fence. For those of you who've watched our early episodes, you may remember this. I've just crashed into a fence. Go me. Here's the damage. I'll show you there. Drove straight to a panel beater and just asked for some advice about prices and things. And his advice was, yeah, go call your insurer straight away. Damn it. Yeah, that was fun. That was a fun week all over. So I crashed the car in Brisbane and managed to get it fixed 4 months later in Perth. Here's how I did it. Firstly, if you're just at home or you're in one spot for months and months, you can just call your insurer and then they send you to the repairer that they want you to use, or you can ring around and get some quotes. And that's all relatively simple. It just takes time. Because we're traveling every couple of days or every week at least, it's just not that simple. So I rang and spoke to Club 4x4, who is our insurer. They were fantastic, made sure, of course, that I had the right cover and all of that before I did anything else. I just needed to get some quotes done, and then they would send their assessor out. Now, I won't go into the nitty-gritty of all of the toing and froing that happened after this point. It did create a little bit of anxiety for me, and it wasn't as straightforward as it could have been had I had the information to hand, hence this video. One of the first things I learnt was that not all smash repairers repair for every insurance company, something I didn't know. So I rang around a few smash repair people and managed to get hold of the lovely people at Impressions Smash Repair in Bibra Lake, which is not that far from Rockingham, just outside of Perth. So firstly, quotes are normally done in situ. So once I explained my situation to Chico over at Smash Repairs, that I was living on the road and I was actually wouldn't be there for a few months, and I wouldn't necessarily be able to just stop and stay there for a few months while the quotes got done, the claims got approved, and then the parts got ordered in. This all takes weeks and weeks, possibly months. He made an exception, agreed to do a quote, and so here is the process to follow. Well, certainly the process that I followed that worked really well, and had I just done this from the beginning, it would have been a lot easier. So Chico let me know that all insurers use, and I'm assuming the repairers, they all use the same software. It's called Estimage. I'll put that up on the screen. So what Chico needed was for the claim to be logged in Estimage so that he could access that information. Because it was a bit of a catch-22. They were sort of stuck with until they had the assessment done, and Chico couldn't do anything until it was in Estimage, and they couldn't really move the claim forward until they had a quote. So it was a little bit of toing and froing. So the insurer simply needs to log the claim into Estimage, and then the repairer is able to access that information. So once I understood that part of the process, it got a lot easier and things were very streamlined. So I rang 4x4, they put it into Estimage, they let me know, I let Chico know, and he gave me a lot of different information that I would need to send him to get the quote done. I don't know whether it's going to be the same information for every smash repair person, so I won't list it all or anything, but just information about the car, the mileage, he needed quite a lot of detailed photos. So yeah, once the insurer had all of that information, I then had to wait for the assessor. I wasn't really sure how that was going to work. They did say they would send somebody out, even though I was on the move. They would contact me. I was on the East Coast. They said they had multiple assessors along the East Coast. But in the end, after about a week, I got an email saying, click on this link and follow the prompts. It was so easy. So clicked on the link. It gave really, really detailed instructions of the type of photos that they would need to do the assessment. So it was all done online. I took multiple photos. If they weren't quite exactly what they wanted, it just came straight back saying, please retake. Very simple. So as soon as that assessment, those photos were good enough to do the assessment, that all gets logged into Estimage. Chico can see that. He then goes ahead, he then went ahead and did the quote, and he submits that quote into Estimage, and it's all done without any of my input, which was fantastic. So inside of a few weeks, that quote got approved by Club 4x4, and Chico said we were okay to book the repairs in. By then we were halfway across the Nullarbor, I think, or just leaving South Australia or somewhere. So as soon as I got a little bit closer to Perth and I had a much better idea of the date, I contacted Chico and Impression Smash Repair. They booked it in for I think it was the last week of March, and then we continued on our travels. So it was still at least 8 weeks away. And then a couple of weeks shy of that date, I realised that we were a little bit ahead of our schedule. I contacted Chico and just explained that I was running a bit early. No stress at all if we had to keep that date, but if we could move it, bring it forward a week, that'd be amazing. No problems at all. They were so helpful and really just amazing to deal with from the start right through the whole process. There was a little bit of hand-holding involved because I didn't really know what I was doing, and they were amazing, everyone there. They brought it forward a week, which was really great for us in our travels. I mean, a week doesn't sound like much, but if you're living on the road, it is really helpful not to have to stay still for too long, especially in the cities where it can be, a bit more expensive and not really the travelling that we were planning on doing. So here's how it went. Alrighty, so we're in Rockingham, just outside Perth. We're just getting ready to take it in the morning. We've only been here about an hour.
So we just spent the day cleaning out the car and taking everything that we might need this week out of the car and putting it into the camper. And yes, it's actually quite amazing how much we rely on the space in the car as storage and also just for day-to-day use as well. It's really been quite a challenge fitting everything in, but we think we're good to go for the week that they said it would take to get the car done.
We're going to have a car again. I really hope the repairs are just awesome and you'll never know that I crashed into a fence. Yay!
Good as new.
Oh, looks so good. Really, really happy. Well, hopefully you'll never need this information. But if you do, I hope you found this video helpful. If you've got any questions, leave them in the comments and I'll get back to you. If you haven't seen our channel yet, you can check it out here. Bye for now.